morning, grade 3 students. How are you? This is our English lecture number 9. So what are we going to cover in this lecture? Objectives covered in this lecture. By the end of this lecture, students will be able to identify the subject of a sentence. So normally we're going to have a sentence, and students are going to be able to identify the subject in this sentence. Now they will also identify the complete subject, mark simple subjects, locate compound subjects, and at the end they're going to learn how to write a personal narrative using order words. So what do we have in this PowerPoint or in this lecture? First we have a general overview or revision. What is a sentence? Then we have the lesson. What is the subject of a sentence? This is the grammar. In writing, we have how to write a personal narrative using order words. We are going to do some exercises, practice to locate the simple, complete, compound, and compound subject in a sentence. Plus, we are going to also practice how to add order words to a paragraph. As a homework, you are going to solve the following pages on the ISI booklet. Page 31, 32, 34, and pages 130 and 131. Let's start. What is the sentence, or what is the structure of a sentence? You can see here, this is the body sentence, we call it, like sentence body. Body means like pal or friend. A sentence to be complete, it should have head, body, and feet. As you can see here, it should have head, body, and feet. Now the head, this is the capital letter, okay? So the head is the capital letter of the sentence. The body is the subject and the predicate of the sentence. We are going to study about the subject part. Later on, we're going to study what is the predicate. And the feet at the end, these are the punctuation marks or the punctuation mark. So the subject of a sentence tells who or what the sentence is about. Who is the sentence about? It could be a person. What the sentence is about? It could be like something we're talking about. For example, first, this is the sentence that we have. The heart pumps blood to all body parts. The heart pumps blood to all body parts. Who or what is this sentence about? This sentence is about the heart. And so the heart is the subject of the sentence. Now this subject, we call it the naming part. This is called the naming part of the sentence. So what is the naming part? The naming part tells who or what the sentence is about. For example, here I have the boy eats a sandwich. You can see a boy standing in the kitchen and he's holding a sandwich. So here I can say who or what the sentence is about. It's about the boy. The boy eats a sandwich. So who? This is the boy. This is also called the naming part of the sentence. Or I can have, or the next part, the other part, we call it the telling part. This is our coming lesson. It tells what someone or something does. For example, the boy eats a sandwich. The boy does what? Eats a sandwich. So this one we call it the telling part. Now we are going to move on to simple and complete subject. A complete subject is all the words in the subject. We are still talking about the same sentence. So for example here, a long snake coils in its cage. What is the complete subject in this sentence? It's all the words in the subject. So when I ask what is the naming part or what is the sentence about, the sentence is about snake only? No, it's about a long snake. So all these words, I have 3 words. I have a long snake. So these are the 3 words. These 3 words are considered the complete subject of this sentence. Now the simple subject is only the noun or the pronoun in the subject. A long snake is a Is it a noun or pronoun? No. Long? Also no. Snake. A snake is a noun. Remember, a noun names a person, place, or thing. So snake here is a noun. So this is the simple subject. So let's practice. What or whom is each sentence about? Draw a line under the complete subject. The pet store is busy on Saturday. So what is this sentence about? Yes, it is in the beginning of the sentence. It is about the pet store. So I should underline the pet store. Number 2, people smile at the puppies and kittens. People smile at the puppies and kittens. So who smile or who does what? Smile at the puppies and kittens. So who are we talking about? Who smile at the puppies and the kittens? Okay, who smile at the puppies and the kittens? It is the word people. So people is the naming part, therefore it is the complete subject. Number 3, the goldfish swim in a big tank. Who is the sentence about? Who swims in a big tank? It is the goldfish. So this is my complete subject. Furry rabbits hop around. So who's the sentence about again? It's about furry rabbits. So this is the complete subject. It should be furry rabbits, okay? Number 5, a long snake coils in its cage. So this is just like our example. A long snake is the complete subject. Number 6, pet supplies are on the shelves. So these are supplies for pets. They are on the shelves. So the complete subject here is pet supplies. Number 7, the owner answers a lot of questions. So what is this sentence about? It's about the owner. So the owner is the complete subject. A little boy points to a sleeping puppy. A little boy points to a sleeping puppy. So who points to a sleeping puppy? Who is the sentence about? It's about the little boy or a little boy. Number 9, the brown puppy wakes up and barks. So I'm talking about the brown puppy, and this is the complete subject in this sentence. Now we will move on to the compound subject. A compound subject is 2 or more subjects connected together by the word and. And is a linking word. For example, I have mom and dad gave the baby a hug. I have 2 characters or 2 subjects. I have mom and I have dad. So these are 2. It means here I have a compound subject. Place a check mark next to the sentence if it has a compound subject. Write the complete subject on the line. Number 1, Jane and Leah rode their bikes to the park. I have Jane and I have Leah. So these are 2 people and they are linked together by the word and. So here, yes, I do have a compound subject and it is Jane and Leah. Number 2, Carlos and Shane were playing soccer. I have Carlos in one hand and Shane in the other hand. Shane. So here I have 2 subjects. So of course I have a compound subject and it is Carlos and Shane. Number 3, the sun shone brightly. The sun. So do I have here 2 subjects? No, I'm talking about only the sun, only one thing. So this is the sun. I do not put a check mark. Number 4, Coach Tate and Chris. Coach Tate and Chris walked toward the field. So here I'm talking about 2 people, about Tate and Chris, and I have the word and, so this is definitely a compound subject. Number 5, Mrs. Chan sat on a bench reading. Who sat on a bench reading? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Mrs. Chan. So this is the complete subject. I do not have a compound here. The Smith twins played on the swings. So here, even though the twins is actually 2 kids that look alike, but here I'm talking about only one group, okay? The Smith twins. So here I have 1. If I said the Smith twins and the Carter twins, for example, then I will be talking about 2, and then I will have compound subject. But since I do not have and, it means I only have 1 subject, the Smith twins. Number 7, many birds and squirrels. So here I have and, so I'm talking about birds and I'm talking about squirrels. So I have here the word and that is linking both subjects, so this is a compound subject. Number 8, dark clouds began to gather around noon. So I'm talking about dark clouds. I do not have something else, only dark clouds, so this is a complete subject. Number 9, the adults and children started to leave. So as you've already guessed, it is a compound. There's a compound subject. It is the adults and children. How to write a narrative, how to write a personal narrative using order words. We already know that in order to write a narrative, we should have a beginning, a middle, ending. Now, in this section, we're going to learn how to use order words. So in the beginning, because it's a personal narrative, so we have to mention something happened to you, means to the writer, to the one who is writing. For example, I can say, when I was young, we as a family used to live with my grandmother. Okay, so when I'm referring to myself and my family. Now in the middle, I'm going to use order words. What are the order words? I have first, next, second, then. Okay, so first, she would make me breakfast. She means my grandmother. She would make me breakfast. What else? What happens next? I would go to school. Then I would have my dinner. Of course, after I come back from school, I would have my dinner and go to bed. Now, what can be the closing? I can say, at last, she, my grandmother, would tuck me in bed and read for me my favorite book. So this is how I can write a personal narrative. Now, it's your turn. Read the following paragraph, add words that show order. Number 1, I went camping with my dad. Now, I went camping with my dad. This is my topic sentence. I went camping with my dad. You can choose other sentences or other topics to talk about. First, so here, what goes in the blank here? I helped my dad put up our tent. So what goes in the first blank? I can say first. First, I helped my dad put up our tent. I have another blank, and then we built a fire. We built a fire. So usually this is happens next. Third line, third blank, we roasted hot dogs and marshmallows. So this thing happens then. We put out the fire and went to sleep in our tent. So I can say, at last, we put out the fire and went to sleep in our tent. Now here I want you to look like a checking if this is a personal narrative. Are we talking about, or this paragraph, something happened to the writer? Yes, it is. Number 2, do I have order words? Yes, I have. First, next, then, and last. Does it have beginning, middle, and end? Yes. The beginning is I went camping with my dad. In the middle, I have the first, next, and then steps. And the ending was, at last, we put out the fire and went to sleep in our tent. That is the end of our lecture. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope you had fun and you understand all the concepts. If you have any question, please join me on our Zoom sessions.